So I was in the interview and they said, we don't know. Are you a good fit for this role? Are you a good fit for this organization? I mean, I just don't know. And I agreed. I didn't really have a comeback. So silence is a form of agreement. I became uncertain.
So you're in an interview.
Mhm.
You're qualified. That's Angela. That's how you got in the room. They know you qualified. They just want to see whether or not you know who you are. And they said, we're not sure if you belong here. And you were mad. I'm like, this, and this. I said, well, did you tell them no?
No. I mean, since you're giving the PG version of the story, yes, I did. I was angry.
Like, you got mad. So what happened was when they said that to you, boom, you on fire. It's over, right? How dare you? Because you're the best. And then you became competitive. Don't ever say you're not great. That's when your trauma default showed up. Oh, wait, you thought I wasn't good enough? Boom, it's over.
It was like throwing a hand grenade at me. I was like, what?
How are they going now?
It literally was like being in a discussion with someone you've known for years. They find you fascinating.
If you're having a hard time getting past the interview process, this video is for you. If you can't figure out what you're doing wrong in the interview, or if you're nervous about the interview process and getting a new job, over $100,000, then this video is for you. There are a lot of things that are going on in your mind and in the interviewer's mind that you need to clean up and clear up before you get into the room. And let's be clear, your trauma default may be sabotaging your success. So check out this interview that I have with my client Angela and get insight from what she learned about herself and the interviews and how she conquered her fears to be able to interview confidently and with authority. I can't wait for you to get this insight. What was your trauma default?
I had several. Probably my biggest one was that Papa Pope-like speech on Scandal.
How many times have I told you you have to be what?
Twice.
What?
Twice as good.
Twice as good as them to get half.
And parents do not mean any harm when they give their children, especially their daughters, that speech. And I didn't have any older brothers, so my dad was really trying to protect me. But what it instilled in me was that I had to be the best. And there was a tinge of I had to protect everybody else. So I was oddly competitive when there was no reason to be competitive. And if I saw someone experiencing an act of humiliation or being bullied, I would jump in and try and save that person. I wasn't taking time for myself. I wasn't saving myself. And that was a big problem. And I was over-servicing as a result. So I would show up nice, corporate Ange, and then you would say something and I was a totally different person. You did not know I had that side of me. And it was like, I think I made a mistake. You did. And let's get started. It's almost like I didn't have an off button because I had to be the best. I had to do that. So once you push that button, once you push that trigger, it was go. And I was like, I'm ruining opportunities. You know, I can't sit in a boardroom crazy, like you said.
Your trauma default loop is I got to be the best, point blank, period. And that's okay. However, you being the best and then not getting the outcome because you were taking care of other people. You were passive aggressive. You were nicey. They call me nicey. Nicey is you nice nasty.
Literally.
So you nice nasty. Your nice nasty doesn't give you the outcome that you want because you're not being promoted because you're nicey, which made you over competitive. Now you're gonna work harder and you feel bullied. Bullied becomes a victim, but ain't no way you're gonna be a victim. So now you nicey nastier, and then you don't get the outcome. So that's the loop that you was caught in.
It was tough. It was definitely, that's the perfect description.
And oblivious to that nicey nasty. I mean, you was oblivious. I was like, hey man, turn your camera off. You must.
When you told me to turn my camera off, I was like, okay, I guess that's the wake-up call I needed. Like, turn your camera off. I was like,
you're messing up my day. But you really didn't know that you were creating the barriers to your success with the way you looked at people. You had no idea for months. And I was like, you know, it was you. He was like, I ain't trying to hear that. Until you started to do just a little bit. You started to listen to something positive, right? You started to meditate. You started to do like the self-care things. Then you get into the room, people, they actually liked you. You was like, y'all like me?
It's a shame because at a big age, you notice that. It's like outside of those rooms, socially fine, but it was having to prove myself. I was over and over again. And now I'm like, no, I don't need to do that.
Did they make you feel like you had to prove yourself, or you walked in the room thinking that you had to prove yourself? Like, that's the difference.
I walked in the room, they picked up the energy, and it was go from there.
Exactly.
So it was my Achilles heel. And if you wanted to compete against me, it was really easy to just latch on and do it. I allowed myself to do that because I walked in the room with that energy. That's how I showed up.
So after a couple of months of taking care of yourself, did we talk about your self-care habits already? Have we talked about them?
We talked a little bit about them. We did about the meditating, the dancing. First of all, first thing in the morning, I got to catch myself. Otherwise, I'm pulled in 100 different directions if I don't do that.
Part of the Pay Raise Playbook on demand, which we'll put the link in the chat. The reason why we do the mindset work first is so you can see how you're showing up as the problem. So it's one thing for me to be like, oh, okay, you can go and let me teach y'all how to get raises and let me teach y'all. And, it's never about that, Angela. I had to trick y'all for a long time. So I'm delighted and excited. And I know you are, that I'm finally talking about trauma default, right? Like I'm finally bringing it to the forefront because that's the foundational work of our business. It's for a long time, people didn't want to talk about healing and being angry. And so I sold y'all what y'all wanted. Fine. Y'all want some money? Come over here. When we get y'all, you be like this. So tell me about your childhood though. Right. So the Pay Raise Playbook on demand, the first 4 modules is all about mindset. The first 4 modules is unpacking where you are right now and how you may be contributing to your thing. Then we're going to talk about negotiations and how to ask for your money and how to interview and all these other kind of things.
Yes.
So they have to work together. But the first part is mindset of owning your reality so you can now own how you're showing up. Then let's talk about getting the money. Okay. My story has not changed in 6 years. Never. I don't care what's going on in the world. And it's interesting because this guy, when I put up a raise, one of my clients went from 289, I think, to 432. Somebody was like, her numbers seem odd. I said, hey, man, just because it looks odd to you, that don't mean that it's not true. I mean, it may look odd to you just because you ain't never made this amount of money. That don't make it less true. I have no reason to lie. And I said, and if this is your first time encountering me, I invite you to go scroll for the past 5 years because I've been clocking numbers for a long time. I want to be clear. Not bragging on myself, but it's not bragging if it's true. So regardless of what's going on, and I will stand on a different mountain of results in 2030, not just with the money, but with the wholeness. My story has not changed in what I believe to be true. I have never adjusted my beliefs of what's possible for women and what's possible for Black women based on what's going on externally. Never, because I know how powerful y'all are. You just don't know because you're angry. You don't know because you're tired. You don't know, like Faye, because you had lupus. Does that make sense? So it's like, y'all don't know. I know exactly who you are. Now, because interviews were warfare for you. When you weren't as healed, right? You go into an interview, what did they say? And then what did you say? Then what did I say?
Oh, so I was in the interview and they said, we don't know. Are you a good fit for this role? Are you a good fit for this organization? I mean, I just don't know. And I agreed. I didn't really have a comeback. So silence is a form of agreement. I was like, and then I said, I don't know. I guess we'd have to really talk through it. I became uncertain.
So you're in an interview. You're qualified. That's Angela. That's how you got in the room. They know you qualified. They just want to see whether or not you know who you are. And they said, we're not sure if you belong here. And you were mad. Calling them MFers, right? Like, how dare they? You forgot that part. I don't forget nothing. I've done this, and this. I said, well, did you tell them no? No.
No. I mean, since you're giving the PG version of the story, yes, I did. I was angry.
You got mad because they asked you a question, but because you had not completely indoctrinated yourself in the work. That's why we talk about the mindset work first, because you were still new out here in these streets.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it had not become a part of your beingness, calm. So when you met with opposition, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, right?
No,
I'm
I
just
get
trying
it.
to let women know, because I see all these women on LinkedIn talking all this trash about these interviewers, and I'm like, I'm sure it was you. Like, you're qualified,
Sure with you.
but you didn't tell them that you were qualified. You shut down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked you, and they didn't know you were a good fit. You actually researched the company. So
Right.
you were intentional, but you didn't tell them that. I was like, you tell them that though. They just want to know, do you want to work for us? Are you passionate about coming to work for us? That's all they want to know, Angela. You being in the room, you were qualified. So what happened was, when they said that to you, boom, you on fire. It's over, right? How dare you? Because you're the best. And then you became competitive. Don't ever say you're not great. That's when your trauma default showed up. Oh, wait, you thought I wasn't good enough? Boom, it's over.
It was like throwing a hand grenade at me. I was like, what? And it was just, it was a mess.
It didn't go good. But you didn't know at the time, again, you didn't know that was your trauma default. Once you started to do the work a little bit longer, because this isn't overnight, y'all. Discipline around your actions and disciplines around your mindset and knowing yourself are so important. We are responsible for regulating how we feel in each moment.
Yes.
We are solely responsible. And I've been saying it. You are solely responsible for your mental and physical health. You know, you calm down a little bit, and you saw the error in your ways, and you started to show up differently in interviews. So now, how are they going now? Because they used to be like, what, 15, 20 minutes, and you shut down, you mad. They'd be like, get her out of here. And now
Like,
I have no more questions. And they'd be like this, I ain't got no more questions.
it literally is like being in a discussion with someone you've known for years. They find you fascinating. They want to know more about you. They want to dig into things that are not on your resume, because they want to see if you're a good fit with the company and the culture. I love talking about the company's culture, and they want to learn if I'm a good fit for their culture. Now we're seeing where we align, where we agree on some of our habits, on our work style. Do you like to take a break at this time and have a glass of water? That kind of silly stuff. Or, where'd you go to school, and things like that. So it's like you're meeting somebody at a coffee shop, rather than you're in this tense situation where you're staring straight ahead and you're sweating and you're nervous. They're not like that anymore. And interviews were my Achilles heel. I could not get through an interview successfully without something happening weird, because the energy I was bringing to it. Now I'm bringing the energy. I'm saying I'm bringing the confident version of myself. I'm bringing the calm version of myself. I'm so much more than either a subject matter expert or a staff member or a worker bee. I'm a leader. You're going to make a lot of money around me. I'm strategic. I'm calculating. I'm ready to go. So also they find themselves answering questions because I'm determining if they're a good fit. And they appreciate that, because they're not sitting across from a cold fish who just wants a job. It's somebody who is like, she may say no to us. And I have. So that's a different kind of energy. Whereas they sit up straighter. They're ready to get into the ring. Okay, come on, I see you. All right. Yeah, this is how we would describe our company culture. I've had people say, well, we reassure you that we're not like that we do this. So now they're stepping it up, and it feels good. So it's a healthy leadership conversation. It's not they got a treat and I'm a puppy dog trying to grab it. That's probably the best way to describe it. I'm no longer a puppy dog trying to get a treat. It's like, nah. Well, can we call you? Is it about the money, or what do you need to call me for? So it's like, we're not friends. So, because I can build trust quickly when I'm calm, when I'm rested. That's what I figured out about myself. I can build trust quickly. And that's the nature of sometimes fundraising, is the person across from you has got to feel comfortable with you. And so if you don't bring that to the table, if you can't help a client feel that way, or you can't do that with a donor, it doesn't work. And also the resume writing course that you have, it is long, it is intense, but boy, I began to understand what I guess proverbially I brought to the table. And that, I think, is the purpose of your program. So we can, first of all, put out the fire. All right. Learn how to show up in a way that you're going to receive the outcomes that you want. And then you're able to negotiate and have conversations with clients. If you own your own business, if you're a consultant, to have conversations with recruiters or with decision makers where you're on the same page and you're going to receive the outcomes you want. So I know you say, hey, you've got pay raise playbook, $50,000, all that. Is so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. You can make a lot of money and be miserable.
If you have over 10 years of experience in the job market and you're ready to align your pay with your passion, go ahead and get the Pay Raise Playbook on-demand course. This course has accounted for getting 10 women over $50,000 in salary raises. And remember, you get 2 live Q&As with this course. Get it, take it, and get paid what you deserve. Or just understand the process so you're not afraid of being laid off. You don't have to stay up late at night wondering what's going to happen if you get laid off. Take control of your fears, take control of your future, and your life will never be the same for the best.